Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so that's why I hate them, but like, whatever.
This is the body's fight or flight response, triggered by adrenaline. There are two options. 1, flight.
I'm leaving.
Or number 2, fight. This is the body's fight or flight response, triggered by adrenaline, a hormone designed to help us react to stress or danger. But how does it work? Let's explore the adrenaline signaling pathway.
Players in the game are adrenaline, G-protein coupled receptor, G-protein, target protein and adenyl cyclase, ATP and CAMP, and kinases.
Purpose. GCPRs are the largest known class of membrane receptors. G-protein coupled receptors regulate cellular responses such as hormones and neurotransmitters. Adrenaline used for flight or fight response. Adrenaline receptor proteins specifically receive adrenaline ligands, which increase heart rate and breathing, which are used specifically in stressful situations. Here are some of the advantages. So it's located on the surface, which allows for a rapid response. There's long distance signaling, an ability to respond to signals from different parts of an organism, amplify cellular signals as well. So some of the disadvantages are that it's susceptible to unintentional responses, and it's also very short-lived.
This is our presentation on adrenaline signaling pathway by Sohvi and Julia. The adrenaline signaling receptor is hydrophilic, meaning it is received on the surface of the target cell. This occurs because hydrophilic and polar molecules, like adrenaline, cannot easily pass through the cell membrane due to the polar heads of the phospholipids that form the membrane. The ligand adrenaline moves through the extracellular space until it binds to the extracellular part of a G-protein coupled receptor. This receptor has 3 parts, one part on the cell surface, one part embedded in the plasma membrane, and one part within the cytoplasm of the cell. When the ligand binds the receptor outside of the cell, it triggers changes in the intracellular part of the receptor. This activated receptor allows a G-protein to bind inside the cell. The G-protein consists of an alpha subunit bound to a GDP molecule, a beta subunit, and a gamma subunit. Once the G-protein binds to the activated receptor, the alpha subunit exchanges GDP for GTP and separates it from the beta and gamma subunits. The alpha subunit, now bound to GDP, interacts with and activates adenyl cyclase, which catalyzes the formation of cyclic AMP from ATP. CAMP then binds to and activates protein kinase A, which in turn adds phosphate groups to phosphorylase kinase. This phosphorylation activates phosphorylase kinase, which phosphorylates and activates glycogen phosphorylase. Glycogen phosphorylase breaks down glycogen into glucose molecules, which are released into the bloodstream. These glucose molecules provide energy for the flight or fight response, increasing heart rate, enhancing lung capacity, and supplying more energy to the body. Termination of the signaling pathway begins when adrenaline dissociates from its receptor. After adrenaline detaches from the receptor, the GTP that was attached to the G-protein is dephosphorylated to become GTP. The conversion from GTP to GDP inactivates the G-protein. The inactive G-protein dissociates from the adenyl cyclase, switching adenyl cyclase to the inactive state so it stops producing more molecules of CAMP.